Hi Virgo, welcome. I'm doing a multitude of messages for you. Usually I synthesize and create one single message, cohesive message, but I would like to give you a couple instead. Take some, leave some as always. I'm going to start with an angel. I would like to see what your spirit guides are bringing your way, what kind of energy they want you to pay attention to. You have two cards. You actually have love as well as Archangel Raphael. So, because I don't remember, let me just pull, sorry. I want to see what Raphael does. Okay. He's the Archangel of healing. Okay, there's other things, but that's the main energy. So healing a love situation, really. Healing yourself, restoring your ability to love again. It's really beautiful. A great way to start. So we're gonna precisely look at a relationship that you care for, someone significant that you would like us to look at. Doesn't have to be romantic, but with these cards of love on the table, I guess it will be. Okay, amazing. I see, again, two cards. I see the Eight of Swords with Temperance. So another form of healing any sort of mental anguish that you could have had when it comes to love in general, or this particular relationship that we're diving into here. So the most important thing here about your healing is how you're able to keep cool, how you're able to, you know, not swing between extremes of a really high, a really low, feeling ecstatic, feeling super desperate, you know, whatever the feelings have come up as for you, right? Love and hate, but all feelings of basically opposites, swinging between opposites. So you're sort of finding the middle ground to this and you're much more at peace for it. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Three of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So for me, the queens here could be you and this person, right? So it doesn't have to be, but it could be. So ultimately, the only card here that really speaks of love is the Queen of Cups, and she's in the reverse. So you definitely have been in a position where either you have been inaccessible and made yourself unavailable to love, have been having a hard time opening yourself up, or it could have been done to you by this person. I'm going to turn off the heat, sorry. It feels like there was a progression here. It feels like this is a very mental energy of, I'm gonna rationalize everything, I'm gonna stay alone, close myself off, I'm very independent, independent, self-sufficient. I don't need anybody else's help. This is how you've been operating. And then there's a sort of a story here where you changed overall. It feels like you have wanted to self-express, to be more expressive, to speak up, share more of yourself. Or at least you tried to. You were hoping you would be welcomed in this respect. You had a lot of hope. I'm speaking in the past, which is interesting. It feels like, I'm going to tell you why, because it feels like you tried and then it was difficult. And you sort of ended up kind of hurting yourself. Or ended up being hurt. We're going to look at why, but it feels that maybe you didn't say enough, or you didn't come across fully because it's a page, so you didn't have much of an impact when you communicated, which makes sense because I think that it was very new to you. It also feels like maybe the communication was cold and detached, abstract, maybe too concise, didn't carry enough fire, enough emotions. It was quite cerebral, very intellectual, very cerebral. It comes from this place where you feel or have been all bunched up, right? You're very self-criticizing, which is a Virgo trait, but perfectionism as well is here on the table. So you've basically or at least you didn't manage to come across as loving. It wasn't, like I said, didn't come across as even efficient, you know? It's funny. The Eight of Cups. It's a strange energy. It feels like you were basically talking about your departure. So anything emotional that you could have addressed, the cups here, you've only spoken about things that were, you know, difficult, or the things that you weren't able to handle, and you've only spoken about the reasons why you chose to walk away from the situation. So maybe because you didn't receive any love, maybe because you were addressing yourself to someone unavailable to you, or just because you didn't come across as loving enough, because of the topics of discussions that you brought up. So let's see how you get healing, really, besides the Archangel. This is too ironic. The High Priestess. You heal by staying silent, introspective, it's a little bit like keeping to yourself. Yet, what's amazing is that there's a lot of exploration of what is very deep here. So, as much as you're not able to communicate the depths of you and the feelings that you have them. And so they do remain hidden, they remain within you, but there's quite a wealth of it. It is extremely wealthy. It's very rich. It's profound and it's accurate. I think you have an amazing gift of sight. Maybe you just don't possess the communication skills to go along with it. Especially when it comes to love. Or within this particular relationship where, I don't know, I have to admit that I think that someone wasn't receptive to you, ultimately. And I will vouch for you in the sense that I don't think it's only on you about what you've communicated. I think it's because you've explained how you had to walk away from someone that refused to hear you, that just didn't get you as well. So it's not all on you. But you were stuck in your head about this quite a lot. So in terms of what's happening around the eclipse is your awareness of all of this, your choice here to stay silent, the way that you will, or maybe you're choosing particular ways of expressing it. But it almost feels like you're expressing it to yourself, for yourself. I don't have a good example to give you really, but it could be maybe journaling, something like that, you know what I mean? It could be you decide to turn to studying as a means of expressing yourself and the richness of your, I want to say your insights. It's like you're going to choose to develop those instead of, it's also chastity in a way. So you're choosing to remove yourself from the love scene. It's pretty strong here though. Yeah, it's interesting. So I'm going to change, we're going to move on to the other message. We're going to do something else. Close this one out. Let's pull I can't even say it. A creativity oracle card. Curiosity. Be spontaneous, wonder, move forward, look ahead, and stretch above your present circumstances. You know, I just spoke of the High Priestess and the way she will delve into studies and stuff like that. I think it is propelled and motivated by curiosity, wanting to learn more, wanting to go deeper. I do enjoy the notion of stretching yourself, right? Going the extra mile, putting yourself out of your comfort zone, going deeper. I do believe intuitively you will be asking yourself harder questions, to which I think you'll find some answers. Even if they're personal to you and you keep them to yourself, I believe you'll have great insight. Firm foundation, always good to have. The wise is coming up. Throat chakra, you're being challenged about your communication. Very interesting. It does tie in with the prior message. It's your challenge. It's your, I guess it's really something you have to work on. But you do have assets when it comes to that. I think you do have some form of eloquence, some form of, you have a good basis, a good vocabulary, for instance. Whatever it is, you're coming from a good place as well for whatever you choose to address. I think you're stable. Hope. You provide hope and inspiration. I think you have something to share that is worthy. It brings a lot of light, a lot of peace. And in turn, it's being curious, you know, sort of discovering new things is inspiring you as well, is uplifting you. It's creating space, I'm hearing. Spiritual union, patience and planning. Spiritual union was in reverse, so it would tie in even more with the preceding message, because you were turning inward and turning to studying because you have had some issues in love. It could be that. It forces you to plan differently. You have to be patient about what you're building next, what you choose to focus on, really, the new things. Maybe focusing on working on your communication further, improving that, especially when it comes to inspiring others or sharing your knowledge as the high priestess, as a high priestess. But I'm hearing Rome wasn't built in a day, so it will take some time to get to where you need to be, to maybe even encounter new love. I don't think it really needs planning in terms of finding new love, but patience is certainly needed. Nice. You get positive movement forward. So there is a change for you coming. You know, with curiosity, you could be taking a short trip. You could be I don't know, it feels like you're not just opening books. It feels like you're learning through experience, and it feels like you're out in the field, so to speak, right? You're out there experiencing life, meeting people. I think you also want to connect yourself in reality. I think that you want to be very anchored. It's coming through strongly for me. And I think this will be the perfect opportunity for you to learn how to speak up more, exchange more, communicate better. Like maybe even speak about your needs, your wants, express them more freely. Let's look at some guidance for you. It's crazy, I've been getting this card for, you're like the third sign. I just pulled it for Cancer. This one, the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold, and then you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Well, that's really, first of all, it feels like a calling. It's very important here that you follow that. I think that being pushed out, you know, maybe out of a love situation, or having to heal yourself in love, all of that is like a form of initiation. And since you ended up on the High Priestess energy, it even underlines that. It's like it reinforces that even more. The notion that you're being sort of shaped, prepared, solicited in a particular way because of a calling. And I think you already know that, you sense that, and I think you're already doing it. It's already present for you. All right, guys, thank you for listening in. I hope something serves you. I hope something resonated. Please let me know in the comments. Do like, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. I will see you soon. Take care.